Let's see how my timing was on that. Okay, I'm done. So, happy Halloween. For those of you who don't abhor Halloween like I do, I genuinely have a deep dissatisfaction with Halloween. And let's dress up as creepy, scary things and then give children a bunch of candy. It's literally the dumbest holiday I've ever heard in my whole life. It's ridiculous. How are you guys? Are you home? Also, apparently I'm a big, ginormous asshole because I forgot candy. So I opened my door. Of course, the first time someone knocks on the door, I open the door and there's 27 parents and 57 kids all standing there looking at me. And I was like, I forgot the candy. I'm sorry. I hate Halloween. So stupid. It's the only holiday I don't like though. It's the only time you'll ever hear me say that. So happy Halloween. Welcome, welcome. Who's here? Say hello. My daughter dressed up as a creepy, I don't even know what she was, a creepy angel, I think, actually. And if you haven't seen my Instagram stories, go check out my stories. The picture of my niece is on there. She looks exactly like a Cabbage Patch Kid. It's crazy. She's the most adorable thing. Hi, Lynn, how are you? Happy Halloween, even though I hate it. Okay, if you're in my tribe, say hi to me. Hi, Andrea. If you're brand new to me, please let me know. I'm gonna come stalk you and learn your name. Hi, Sharon. If you're on the replay, let's do hashtag Halloween, because I'm working on my pattern of hating Halloween. But I mean, come on, candy for kids. Can we do a little bit better? Like, anything that's better than let's dress up and eat candy all night. I hate it. Yes. Ugh. So awful. And then guess who eats all the candy? I'm here all day. Not my daughter. She's in school where they can't bring candy. I friggin' have to stare at the chocolate bars the whole time. It's so frustrating. Hi, Suvan. Oh my God, I miss you. How are you? I was just looking at the Bali pictures today because I'm planning the next Diamond Mastermind Bali retreat. Okay, so tonight's topic is one that I'm very excited about. Let me just pull it up on my computer because sometimes the feed drops off. Who else is here? Say hello. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. Okay, here it is. Can't get yourself to do that one thing you keep promising yourself. Even the badasses, even the high level people, the disciplined people, the people who show up really big, the people who create massive results, there's like that one thing you keep promising yourself you'll do, or you'll break through, or I'll lose the weight, or I'll do those daily Facebook Lives, or I'll create that first program, or I'll hit that money goal, or I'll whatever the friggin' thing is, and then it just sort of keeps staying off in the future, this thing that I never reach, this goal that I never reach. What the hell is up with that? Hi, Carrie. Hi, Christina. What is up with that? It's like my favorite topic in the whole entire world, not kidding, because that was my life for so long. Hi, Michelle. How are you? And there's really like, I just did a blog. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but I admitted something, and I was being genuine when I said you can ask my team about this. I'm not a super disciplined person. I was in the Marine Corps. So, I mean, I know how to be disciplined when I have to be, but unless I absolutely have to be, and I do mean absolutely have to, I'm not all that disciplined. I'm very passionate, which is very different than disciplined, right? So a lot of people feel like I have to learn to be this rigid person who like structure and does all these things, but that's not really it. That will happen, right? Like I get so much done in a day. And I remember a mentor of mine a long time ago saying, she didn't say she wasn't disciplined, but she was talking about how it doesn't feel like she does much in a day, but then you look back and you realize how much you actually do, but it's just second nature now. You just do it without even really thinking because it's just part of what you do. And there's some truth to that, and there is some discipline in that, because when you do something over and over and over and over, like a daily blog or a daily Facebook Live, so easy for me. I didn't have to prep for what I was going to say here. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to like mentally prepare myself or shift my energy or any of those things that like really we have to do in the beginning when we're learning a skill, because I've been doing them for so long, right? And it's just sort of what I love to do. But that's not the reason that I'm able to reach goals. That's not the reason I've scaled my business so fast. That's not the reason that I've gotten such major results. I'm not a very disciplined person by nature. I'm kind of, thanks for the hearts. I'm kind of, hi Jacqueline. Yay, I'm glad you're here too. Hi Jess. Yes. It's really not, I'm really just not very disciplined. I want my freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I remember people asking me like, well, Mandy, like, how come you just share that you've attempted suicide or these things that other people won't talk about? Like, what? Because I'm too selfish to not have my freedom. Like, I'd rather you judge me than you take away my freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I feel called and I have a purpose on this planet, and I know that my story resonates with other people. So of course I would share it, because if I didn't, then it wouldn't resonate with them. I wouldn't be living my purpose, and I wouldn't feel free. I would feel trapped, right? So here's the real deal behind it. Here's the honest to God truth, okay? The real reason that you're not actually reaching that goal that you've set is because you don't have a reason that you actually really care about to reach that goal. Hi, Jackie. Do you know what I'm saying? There's not something that you have in your life that you're really locked into, that you feel you're deeply connected to, that you have an emotional connection to. When I think about like, oh, like we did Halloween tonight and I had a glass of wine and I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I went to the gym, pushed it hard this morning. I was like, oh, I'm just kind of lazy. Like, why would I show up and do this Facebook Live? Well, other than we're doing the 365-day Facebook Live challenge, which I would never let my team down, right? My tribe down. But really, other than that, it's really because I think I think about the people that I'm serving. I think about what matters to me. I'm so locked into what really matters to me. And I've gone through phases where I wasn't locked into it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that feeling like, oh, I have to, or just reach those numbers. Like, just make the 30K this month so you can pay the bills, or like, don't worry about crushing it this month, or, you know, just hurry up and get those first clients, or just, you know, just appease that person, or just don't binge eat today, or just go to the gym for 20 minutes. It's like this, just get it done, just do it, like, just be safe, just, you know, make it happen. Just like, don't really, you know, it's just like that, what is it called? It's survival. You're just like, just get the bare minimum done so that I can breathe for a second. I don't want to feel this tension like I have to do this thing. And do you know why? That's because you're a ginormous badass. Hairy ovary truth. What is that? Oh my God, Jacqueline, I do love you. What is the hairy ovary truth? Isn't that balls? Okay, we'll have this conversation later. I'll ask you about this privately. Okay, distracted squirrel. I don't even remember what I was saying now. That one really got me. I've never heard that one before. It's really funny. Okay, so, right, I have no idea where I was, but I know what I'm saying. So, we have this thing that really matters to us, and everybody has it. And I was doing a training last night in the free Facebook group. If you haven't gotten into the Heart on Fire Facebook group, make sure you just type in Heart on Fire and the Facebook group will come up. It's free. Just make sure you answer the questions to come in. I'm going to be dropping so much value in that training and in that group. And it's really a group for participation, to do life together, to support each other, to celebrate our huge wins. It's just going to be a massive community of people who live with their heart on fire. And that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. Right? So basically what I'm saying is, the reason you haven't reached that goal, the reason you haven't broken through, the reason you're not living to your potential, the reason you didn't lose the weight, the reason you're not eating the way you should for energy, the reason you're not hitting your financial numbers, the reason you're not launching that business, the reason you're not scaling the way you want to, the reason you haven't disciplined or organized that team stuff, the reason you haven't, whatever the thing is in front of you, right? The reason you haven't found love is because you aren't locked into what actually really truly matters to you. Oh, that's what I was saying. This is the example I gave in the free group, okay? The example I gave was basically this. I'll change it a little bit for this story, but it's the same example. So let's say I'm over here and I see my daughter across the street, and I'm looking at my daughter and I see this creepy ass man walking up to her, and I see that he's gonna harm her. And I'm across the street and I'm looking and I see him going right at her, staring at her, looking at her, coming at her, right? Do you think as I'm running across the street to get to my daughter that, first of all, hell or high waters will stop me? Well, what if a car comes? What if I don't make it in time? Do you think I'm going to sit there and be like, what if I don't make it in time to my daughter? I don't know. Should I even try? Because I don't know if I'll make it. You know, what if this guy hurts me instead of my daughter? You know, what if I look like an idiot running across the street? Or the example I used in the free group, which is a smaller group, but I'll just say it here, is like, am I going to be worried that my ginormous boobs are bouncing while I'm running across the street? And my butt crack is hanging out, or I look like an idiot while I'm running across the street? Not a single one of those things is ever going to come into my brain. My brain clears all the bullshit and I see, he will not reach her. That's the only thing I see. He will not hurt her. He will not get to her before me. End of story. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to die trying, right? Like, there's nothing. There's no excuses. There's no justifications. There's no hesitation. There's no pause. There's no holding back. There's no worrying about what people think. There's no embarrassment. There's nothing but laser focus on the thing in front of me. We are fully capable of that. Now that's like a dramatic version, like an emergency situation. But what I'm saying is if you're not reaching that goal that you're telling yourself, either you don't give a shit about that goal, let's be real, you just don't actually care about it. It's not a thing that really matters to you. It's something you feel like it should matter to me, but it really doesn't. Or you just aren't telling yourself the truth about what really matters to you about that goal, right? So here's like a tiny example, okay? Actually, never mind. I'll give you the money example. Why wouldn't I? Most people's thing is money. So do you guys want me to do the money example? If there's a different example you want me to use, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I remember a time when I hired a coach. I was trying to hit my first 10K in business. I hired a coach and she asked me why I wanted to reach the 10K. And of course my answer was, what do you think as a mother? Well, I just want to be able to spend more time with my children and not be worried about the bills. And then I went home, I woke up the next morning after spending all that money on this coaching and I was completely flat, completely unmotivated, didn't care, was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this. Like, I should have to do this for my kids. Like, what's wrong with you, Mandy? Why don't you want to show up for your kids? Why don't you want to do this for your kids? And then I started laughing. I sat down and I did my journaling. I was like, no, what's going on, right? Like, I'm unavailable for this. This experience of flatness and like not really caring and like, oh my God, I have to do this. I'm just unavailable for living that way. Life is way too short, right? There's like, how many weeks of our life do we have left? How many summers do we have left, right? Like 30 summers left. It's insane, okay? So unavailable for that crap. So I was like, no. Why? You want the 10K, but why do you really want the 10K? If nobody else's rules matter, if societal rules didn't matter, if the stuff I was taught when I was a kid didn't matter, if what my friends thought didn't matter, if what my, ex's family thought didn't matter, whatever, whoever's around you, who you think is watching or your best friend or whoever else, if none of what they wanted mattered, if what I wanted yesterday doesn't matter, what do I want today? What's the real reason? What do I really care about this 10K for? Right? Like, why do I actually want the 10K? I can sense I want the 10K month. Why? Because I don't have to have the 10K, but if I really want it, then there's something I really desire. Well, then I realized I was full of shit when I told that coach that I wanted to do it so I could spend more time with my kids. I was a freaking single mom for years. I had way too much time with my children. Do you know what I mean? Like, all I really wanted was to be around other adults and talk about things that felt smart or felt interesting or felt passionate. And I wanted to travel and have a little bit of time to myself to regather my thoughts and like find out who Mandy was as this woman, right? Like I went straight from a home where I was really controlled into the Marine Corps where I was really controlled to being pregnant right away. I had never really explored who I was. I never had the chance to. So as soon as I figured that out and I locked it in and I was like, no, that's what I really want. This is the hard part. So first of all, we have to tell ourselves the truth. But then the second part is like, okay, I fight all the shoulds and like I'm a bad mom, and literally had people say that to me so many times when I first started this business, so many times. And as it sits, my children were growing up in a basement apartment, in somebody else's basement apartment, and my daughter didn't even have a bedroom. She was sleeping in my bedroom with me, so she couldn't have friends over. My son was too embarrassed to have friends over in his apartment. It was like a basement apartment that had like water stains on the floor. Like, it was ridiculous, right? So, but it was all I could do back then. I was going to school full time. I was working as a nanny, and I was just juggling life. And then, as it sits now, my children have their experience. They travel by themselves. They take Ubers. They fly by themselves. They live a completely different life. They're wide open to what's possible. I mean, what they believe is available for them is completely different. Like, it changed my children's lives, right? But then when I was facing this, all I knew was everybody was judging me. People were telling me I was a bad mom, and I felt guilty as shit. And I had to work through that, because the truth was I wanted freedom really bad. And not just freedom for me, I wanted freedom for my kids too. I wanted them to see what a life of freedom actually looked like. What did it look like to travel around the world and learn how to connect while mom's in Bali and Calvin's back in Rhode Island, Bailey's in Florida, and we're all connecting with each other, and we're staying heart connected, and we're showing up for each other in a real heart-centered way, or tracking with each other through life. And what did that look like? And how did they feel safe living this kind of lifestyle, and them dreaming about really big things in their own life, and really being able to provide that for them, or pay for resources for them, or all of it, like the extracurricular activities and all these kind of things, or maybe like a college or tutors or mentors or whatever it was that they needed, being able to provide for that. I wanted that for them. And so I had to shut everything out. All the voices, all the people, all the guilt trips, all the rules that people were putting on me, I had to shut it out, and I had to tell myself the truth, and I had to lock into it. I had to lock into the truth. This is what I wanted. I went and I bought a blank frame. I should have brought it with me. I bought a blank frame that I put on my desk, and I knew in that picture was going to go a vacation that I was able to pay for through the business. And I kept it on my desk, and every time I was feeling those waves of guilt trip, I just envisioned freedom with the family and traveling and being able to have the life that I wanted, being able to have that alone time, being able to afford to do those kind of things with my family. And that's what I locked into. And that was what it was then, right? Thank you, Jackie. You're so amazing. Oh, thank you for authenticity. You're so welcome, Michelle. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. I'm so glad it's resonating with you. So that's what it was then. And now along the way, have I scaled, right? Like, of course, when you hit 50K months, what you long for or desire is a completely different thing. And I've had to do the work at each stage as I scaled my business to work through it. Like, who would have thought part of it would be asking for a divorce? I'm like going through that same thing, had to block everybody out. I remember someone commented on my comments, who moves across the country and then abandons your family? And it was, I think, someone from their family. I'm not really sure. I didn't know her very well. And I just blocked the comment, and I just like truly, like, I acknowledged it, and I knew that was one of my worst fears, and I just let it go. It was like the same thing all over again. All these guilt trips and stories. It's like people really do like to hold us down. I don't know why. It's their fear. I do know why. I'm saying I don't know why as humans we don't evolve past that. Some of us just choose to stay there, but they're going to do that. People are going to judge you for your dreams. People are going to have expectations, and people aren't going to believe that you can do what you know you can do because they can't do it. So how are they supposed to be able to envision you doing it if they know they can't do it? So coming from a place of love, they're going to try to protect you, or coming from a place of fear, they're going to try to suppress you. And that's what it is. That's going to happen. Our work is to learn how to set boundaries there and how to get really clear. What are we locked into? What are we like? What is the thing that's going to compel us to show up? Every day I'm compelled to show up because I'm thinking about, okay, there's literally thousands of people who are so incredible. They've come from stories like mine. They've been through so much stuff. Sexual trauma, physical trauma, religious abuses, so much stuff. They've been through poor stuff. They've been the rich kid whose parents just didn't show up and give a shit about them. They've been, just so many stories. All of us have a painful story and a painful past. And yet here are these people who've been through all of that. And do you think they're showing up in life like somebody owes me something? I'm entitled. Everybody, no. They faced that shit, looked it right in the eye, and were like, no, that's not how I'm showing up. And then they show up and they give back. And they're looking to learn, to scale. I want to heal, I want to grow, I want to learn, I want to, build independence, I want to give back, I want to scale and hit that world on impact, right? I want to create massive impact. I want to actually heal lives. I want to take care of my parents. I want to give my kids a life that I couldn't dream of. I want to be debt-free. I want to have a beautiful home. They want this really powerful experience of life. I want to have an incredible team that I can support and take really good care of. And I want my message to be powerful, and I want to watch transformation happen right in front of me in people's lives. That's the kind of people, and that's what I lock into. Mandy, when you are 95, looking back on your life, every day I think about this. When you are 95, looking back on your life, what will have mattered to you? What's the thing that how do you want to have handled this? How do you want to remember that you showed up doing this? How do you want to remember that the legacy that you left on the planet? Now, the big thing is most people fear that either they're worried what other people think, or it's scary, right? They're worried about what other people think, or it's scary to tell yourself what you really long for and want because it feels selfish, or you're afraid that you won't be able to make money doing it. Like, my big struggle was I want to support people that are struggling and looking to scale, but if I work with the entrepreneurs that are already crushing it, they pay in full and I make so much more money and it's so much more easy, right? There's like a lot less to deal with and contend with you're working with people that have already, crushed life. So my fear was like, but what really lights me up is helping people that are struggling. That's what really lights me up. It's the powerful people who've been through hell and, maybe they're only out there, either they're just beginning or they just can't sort of get past that 30K mark. They're kind of stuck at that 30K mark. Like, those are the people that I really want to support and help. And I was struggling between how could I do both? How could I make it really easy to make money in my business and also live to my fullest potential? I mean, I want to serve to the scale that I'm capable of serving, but then how can I also help the people that my heart actually lights up for? The thing that makes me feel compelled, the thing that I will wake up and get out of bed to come do this, the thing that I will keep my commitments for, I will reach my goals for, I'll even eat healthy for, I'll even only have one glass of wine for. Like, all the things I was never able to get myself to do out of discipline, I can get myself to do because of this, because I'm clear. What is my purpose? What is my vision? What are my values? What are my goals? What is my mission? What is the impact I want to leave? I know what that is, and I am so locked into it. Now, that's the first half. That's imperative. You're not going to break through those goals until you know how to do that. Which, by the way, if anybody's wondering, that's what we're doing in the Life on Fire group that starts November 12th. If you want to know more about it, just PM me, right? That's the work. Now, the other half of this that we're also doing in the Life on Fire group is being able to take those values, that thing that really drives you, the passion that you have, and be able to align that with your money goals, right? So when I explained this in the group the other night, when I was feeling like, I want to serve the people that are struggling, like that's where my heart lights up. And I also want to make tons of money, and I want it to be very easy. And I just want to be able to live free, take care of everybody I love, and not ever have to worry about that. I want to give every time I feel like giving, I get to give. I want to be sure that I'm well taken care of when I'm older, so my kids don't ever have to worry about me or stress about me. These things really matter to me, right? So like, how could I do both? And until those were in alignment, the thing that drove me and gets me to actually show up and reach those goals, basically be a different human being that I'm capable of being. On my own devices, I am not capable of doing all of the shit that I've been doing, not even on any level. It's not discipline for me, I promise you it's not. It's passion, it's locking into that passion, that purpose, that drive, and it's compulsive. It propels you like a runner's high, right? But until that was in alignment with my ease of making money, because that's the purpose of a business, well, those were out of whack. It was a struggle. It was it was just like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? And when those two come in alignment, every time, and I've done it over and over and over at this point, every new level, the second I shift those back into alignment, boom, my business absolutely scales and takes off. Engagement takes off, clients take off, client results, they break through, powerful results after results after results. I get on the phone and it's just like, everything's amazing. I broke through this, I did this, I showed up, I did this work, right? And then also the money just pours in, just pours in, just pours in, like in one day, right? Like the other day I had a 36K day. That's what happens. You just shift and break through and just, and that's when you see people and you're like, how are they doing that? They're not different than you. They're not smarter than you. They're not more disciplined than you. You're not broken and they're normal. None of that shit is true. The only thing that happened is they're locked into something that lights them on fire. And that is something that you cannot stop no matter what you're trying to do, right? Nothing anybody says, that's like literally what it feels like is like someone next to me being like, you can't run across the street. Like, do you think I'm going to stop and listen to that person? Or is it just going to be like, it's just going to be like words in the air behind me in my dust. It's not even going to reach me. It's not even going to be able to touch me because I am so launched forward. I'm going at my daughter. Nothing is going to stop me. No fear, no person, no word, no nothing. That's what it is to be lit up about things in your life. And then you show up for the Facebook Live. You launch that program. You sit down and write it. You can think clearly. You push off the story. I don't know. I'm confused. This is hard. You stop worrying about what people are going to think or what people are saying. You stop worrying about if I'm going to fail and what if I try my best and it doesn't work. You stop worrying about, am I going to be a bad person if I make money? You stop worrying about, am I going to be a bad mom if I actually try my hardest or set big goals for myself? Am I going to stop caring about the people I love? You stop worrying about all of that crap. None of it matters anymore. It doesn't. It's not even like you have to try. It's just a byproduct of it. Happening now, they are baffled on the how. Too bad, unavailable with that derailment. Yes, being lit up. This is what it is, right? And I'm so serious about this. Like, this is the thing that shifts us and motivates us and puts that fire underneath us and drives us and moves us through all the things that feel so hard without it because we're just relying on our own willpower, which is so, what's the word, fragile? That's what it feels like. Willpower is very fragile. There's a finite amount of willpower in a day, end of story. So when you have a day where like my son is sick and my daughter's belly hurts and my ex is mad at me about something and my mom needs something and my sister is, was up with the baby for 2 days and my best friend is like really struggling with stuff going on in the back end and it's like drain, pinprick, drain, right? Because it's just life and you love people and you're holding space for them. And then it's like, where'd your willpower go? It just went to all the people you love. What's left for you? Oh, I'm just going to watch Netflix tonight. I'm just going to have that glass of wine and watch Dr. Phil. This is not reliant on that. It's just endless amounts of sources, just endless. And those boundaries that you need to create because you know what you're being pulled to something. Again, it's like that stuff trying to get you just gets lost in that dust behind you. It's not even something you have to contend with when you lock into this. And this is the work, right? This is the work. So for those of you, I actually forgot about this till just now. I just offered it the other day on my Instagram. For those of you who feel like, I don't know what my purpose is, like at all, I have a program, mandyperry.com/purpose. It's on my website. It's $197. It was like a couple-hour training that I did live. It's incredibly powerful. You will have a mission statement for your life and yourself. I highly recommend it if you're just someone who's never dug into what your purpose is. For those of you who have an inkling, like this is my message to the world, this is what I feel like I'm here to do, and you just haven't locked into it, then you want to get into Life on Fire. And if you know exactly what your purpose is, you're locked into it, but it's not in alignment with your money, like you have some kind of money story, or you feel like you're like this, like this is what I know, I think what I'm locked into, and this is what makes me passionate, but how I know how to do it feels like over here, and these two aren't together. We're going to do the work to put that in alignment, okay? And for those of you who do join the Life on Fire program that starts November 12th, you can get free access to the purpose. So if you feel like you also want to do the program it's just a couple hour training, it's a 1-day training. If you feel like you want to lock that in and do that first, that's a bonus for the program. Just because I want everybody to have done that training before we enter in. So that's a complete bonus. By the end of this, you will know what it feels like. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to do it over and over and over. This is just like that, whatever level you're at, whatever you're scaling to, this is like getting that in alignment once, but now you're gonna know the skill to do it at every new level that you hit, every new time you have a new vision, every time you scale to that next level monetarily, every time you scale to that next level with your reach, when you start getting recognized in public, when you, start hitting engagement that's like you kind of can't keep up with it, when you start having an overload of clients that's like, okay, now I have to do groups because I can't keep up, I have so many one-on-ones. All of that stuff is coming, all of that stuff is what I've already worked through. When you do, this is something that you're gonna learn to do over and over. And I had to do it many times before I really knew how to teach you and call you to it, because it was messy the first few times. I wish somebody had been able to explain to me what was going on. I had no idea that's what was happening, and I did not know how to get the two congruent. As a matter of fact, I spent an entire year asking every person that I hired or found in this field, or friends or peers or mentors, it didn't matter to me. I asked every single person questions about this. Every single person I asked, how do I get these two together? And nobody had like a direct answer for me that made sense to me. Maybe they knew for them or whatever, but it wasn't clicking for me. And then finally, after pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces and experiences, and basically the tension being so big, I was unavailable for not having it work, I sat down and allowed it to shift and got really clear, like, oh, this is what I've done every time. And I finally figured out how to hold it and how to work through it in a way where you can have these in alignment. And it's going to take, I'm gonna do back-to-back trainings right in the beginning, and then we'll have a few weeks of implementation and Q&A, because it's really like, we gotta have the whole picture. It's gonna take, if I could just explain it now, I would give it to you guys right now. But it's a process for me to be able to take you guys through this, and for you to get the pieces in place, and for you to be able to root this really deeply inside of you. So it's not something that can like waver. It's not something that can be taken away by somebody. It's not something that you can have a bad day and you forget. It's none of those kind of things. It's like real deep foundation for the motivation and discipline that you're looking for to reach those goals in your life, and sort of have that fuel to just continue to show up. For the moms, I mean, I got women on here who are single moms of multiple children while they're working on their own, investing in themselves, dealing with, deaths in the family, showing up, still launching themselves forward in the business, calling themselves to more, doing the 365 date Facebook Live challenge while all of that's going on. Have you guys had any idea of the amount of stuff going on behind my clients and the way that they show up? I got people launching programs right after giving birth from the hospital. I mean, when you lock into what matters to you, you are unstoppable. If you're locked into it and you're unstoppable, but you're not making money, it's because the money story is not in alignment, right? So those are like the phases and the steps. We put those two together. It is unbelievable the level of breakthrough that happens, because there is no stopping you. It is what it is. You become untouchable. It's what it feels like, right? You are untouchable, because it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what situation or circumstance or problem comes up, right? Like if there was a bus and a Mack truck both coming down the street, do you know I would make it to the other side? Every single parent in here would make it to the other side. It doesn't matter what's coming down that street at you. It doesn't matter what the circumstances. I don't care if it's hailing snowballs. Nothing would matter. Nothing's going to stop you from getting to your child on the other side of the street if they're in danger. Not hell or high waters, not hellfire, not trucks, not people, not voices, not money stories, not fear, not anything would stop you from getting to the other side of that street. And that's, if it's available ever, it's available always. But we just usually don't know how to tap into it until we're in some kind of emergency situation. That's not required. You don't need to wait until you're in such a dire straits that now you have to figure it out. You can just actually opt into that. That's completely available for you. I love hearts. Okay, do you guys have any questions on this? Hi, Rachel. Are you still on? Oh my God, I miss you. How are you? I'm just checking through the comments, making sure I didn't miss anything. Harry over truth. Oh, you're so ridiculous. I just still have a wave of feeling guilty that I don't have candy at the door for the kids. Could you believe I opened the door and there's like literally 57 people? Like, I'm not kidding. I said 57 people because it was really like 57 people. I opened it, it was like a whole crowd of people and I was like, are you serious? Because of course I forgot to shut the outdoor lights on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you have any questions on the program, if you feel called to get this in alignment, I'm not really someone who uses the word alignment anymore, but I don't know what else to call it. I don't mean alignment like, I guess it is soul alignment. I mean, that's the wording. It is what it is. I don't really like that wording. It doesn't resonate with me too much. PMing you. Yes, Jackie, I'll get right back to you. It doesn't really, what would I call it? Hold on. Let's think for a second, because I don't like soul alignment. It's really just having your goals backed by your passion. That's it. It's like backing your goals with your passion and knowing how to do that. It's just knowing how to back your goals with your passion. That's it. It's really not complicated, but it is a process. It's not complex. It's not like, oh, this is so hard and confusing. Not when somebody's telling you how to do it. It is when you're trying to figure that crap out by yourself, but it's not when you're not. I'm sitting here in my Elastigirl costume waiting for the kids. Oh my God, you gotta post a picture. Thank you so much for inspiring me, girl. I love you. You're so welcome, Jackie. If you guys have any more questions on this, just let me know. I'm gonna go buy candy. I thought he was a jerk tonight. Feel free to PM me about anything, any questions that you have. Let me know any ahas or feedback that you have in the comments. If you're on the replay, make sure you hashtag, I don't like hashtag Halloween. Let's do hashtag, I was gonna say soul alignment. Okay, now we need a word like soul alignment, but that is goals being backed by your passion. Passionate goals, hashtag passionate goals. Okay. This is teamwork right here. So now we know we're calling it passionate goals. You have to have passionate goals, goals that mean something to you, really actually mean something to you. Not this fluffy bullshit that we're used to, or not this like, let me get my document out and organize this SMART goal. And like SMART goal's fine if you're looking to check into, something that you are passionate about and you're using that as the next, but like you can have a SMART goal all you want and it can be organized all you want, but if you don't actually care about it with something that truly matters to you, that's gonna cause a compulsion in you, no amount of documentation or smarting it up is going to help you. That's what it is. Yes, misalignment. Yeah, it is misalignment with your passions and your goals. Yes. Yes, I just figured out how to explain it even better tonight. I'm very excited about that. Thank you for working with me. Okay, guys, I love you. I'm going to go get candy and stop feeling guilty about that. Have a fantastic night. Let me know any ahas or questions that come up for you at all. And I will see you mañana. Have a good night.